Purge Hangers and Wall Hangers Media Network presentation. This is, of course, the only podcast to be more uncomfortable than a Final Fantasy VII porn being played during the Italian Senate. This is the Triforce podcast, of course. I am your host, Matthew Bugrell, the Mat Man. And, of course, in the Purge Hanger box, we have Katerina Thermascara, Wonderful Woman. And our omnipotent presence that is Big Brother, Stephen Bugarel. Hey. Our mascot, hero of time, Link Diablo. And popping in occasionally later is going to be one Christopher Bristow, the old man. But we do eventually gather together for all the latest and greatest in geek culture and nerdy news. And tonight, Mother Dragon's Secret Invasion. You'll shoot your eye out again. 2022 game releases and so much more on the Triforce podcast. And we want you to hop on over here to purgehangers and wallhangers.com, where you're going to find all the crazy and luggy and nutty moments right up top. And on the second tab, Sunday through Friday, you're going to find myself and Big Brother streaming right here on Walljanger Gaming. Go ahead and clickety-click on either of those buttons. You'll also find us live on the YouTube as well. I got to add that one. And I'm going through the Old Republic, MMO. Of course, Star Wars is always a great game to watch or play through. And the Old Republic, 10 years strong, still a great story. Going through with our Jedi Knight Torif Ra, the Jedi Sentinel class. And, of course, Big Brother going through Skyrim.
Yeah.
Doing the Thieves Guild?
Yeah. When there's not a bloodbath at work, sure.
Okay. You know.
It was a really bad day.
Certain departments will do that. But
no idea.
One department of ours, which is very responsive, is that contact us button right at the back end of the tabs on pjandewh.com. You're going to be able to contact us. Let us know if you have a luggy and nutty car that you want to talk about. Maybe you got a podcast or an event that needs promoting. Do you have a business? Maybe you'd like us to go live there and just have all our Purge Hangers get aroused by your business. Tried not to make that sound dirty, but it just came out. Giggity.
Maybe we can move on
to our first story.
Yeah.
To where Mary Elizabeth Winstead joins Star Wars Ahsoka cast. While there isn't an official date for when the production on Star Wars Ahsoka is starting or when it's going to be released, the show is adding to its cast with the addition of Mary Elizabeth Winstead. It's not entirely clear what character she'll be playing, according to The Hollywood Reporter. It's not even clear if Mary Elizabeth Winstead is going to be taking a reoccurring role on the Star Wars series, or whether she's going to make a one-shot appearance. In addition to Dawson and Christensen, Natasha Liu Bordizzo has joined the show as Sabine Wren, and Ivan Sanko, didn't say that right, don't care, is also attached to unknown role. So Ahsoka's gathering a bunch of, like, you see the stories go through your feed on the picture of the actor who are going in it, and it just kind of fits in that Favreau-Filoni casting type for the universe, and especially with Ahsoka. Where do you want to see this show start off with her? Do you want to see where she left from Coruscant with the twins and the mechanic gang and, like, ooh, you want to see, like, after Rebels? Like, where do you want to see this pick up?
I would like to see, I would like for them to address in the first episode what gets her to where we've seen her in The Mandalorian, and then take off from there. Like, I don't want to spend too much time on a story leading up to where we've already seen her now.
Yeah. Just a quick montage of stuff
like that first episode. You know how sometimes they do some of that back and forth. They show a scene from the like they did with Boba, something like that, but just limit it to that first episode, because although I'm sure it's important and relevant, the path that she's already been on, we've already seen her at this point now where she meets and names Grogu.
Now, the first
in
thing
The Mandalorian, there's no point in starting before that. in my
you
opinion.
can always go back to that later and have a meaningful backstory in that. But I think that just getting, and this is my main thing that I'm kind of been pondering since I heard it. I think it was on Fat Man Beyond, is that people almost wished that they did from when you saw Boba and the Sarlacc pit last to meeting Mando and all that, rather than the back and forth for the episodes.
Right.
I'm kind of siding with that. Now, I get it's probably like artistic flair or maybe just, whatever, but I felt like the story would have flowed better that way, and it would have been a lot more natural, a lot more like a Star Wars story. You don't really see that lost, here's my backstory, while I'm sitting in the Bacta tank. That could have been like a cutscene, and boom, Boba's all better. To where
I agree.
That's the artistic choice for what they put out. But old man needs to be admitted.
Oh, okay.
Be interested to see what he feels about this, because that's not taking away from anything that they did. Because I do really enjoy the Boba series, especially the highlight they put on the Sand People, and then even the biker gang, to where they alluded to them just menacing and terrorizing everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And then Boba gets his just desserts at the end.
Oh yeah, that was good.
And it's one of those things that's always evolving.
I did admit him.
You did admit him. I
Does
don't
he
know what
he's
happened.
allowed to come in?
You're allowed to come inside, old man.
Chris.
And then
Who do you think she's gonna play?
Admiral Thrawn.
That would be something, huh?
His side.
Tom Cruise as Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Oh man,
Hey, there he is.
he's just creepily sitting in the
I'm just setting
background.
up my camera thing on.
You came in to immediately be told to get out.
I do see we Big Brother, switch over on the chat to multi-stream. I do see we have Luminous Tater. We also got some other chat comments.
Yeah, the other two were spam, so I already removed that from YouTube.
Excellent.
So there you go.
But we do have Luminous Tater here. Welcome, Luminous.
Moderation for the win. Luminous, thing simmers down in New York, and hope good health to you. So there you go, sir.
So, Winstead, you might know her best from a particular fan base of Ramona Flowers in Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
She's been in lots and lots of things.
Oh, yeah. And to where the question was of this casting, is it going to be a one-off? Is it going to be like I'll put it this way, like a limited run, like here's a character for a season and we're going to kill him off? Or is this going to be a reoccurring role? What would you rather see her at this role?
I would like as limited amount of her as possible. So I'm hoping it's not someone
like
super integral.
Like Bo-Katan in Mando.
I don't want to see your face.
I would like that level. You know what I mean? Like I want to see that
I would like to see her in like maybe two episodes.
That yeah.
The Disney stores no longer need their paper bags, so there you go, Kat.
There you go. But I just
there's that eye roll.
Winstead is very hit or miss for me, and tends to play whatever character she's playing very aggressively. And I don't know that is something that I want to see 8 hours of.
Well, maybe a Sith Inquisitor. Maybe you get her as the big baddie who's hunting Ahsoka.
Or somebody that's on a planet that Ahsoka lands on for an episode and is featured in that episode as somebody that kind of points her in, like is part of the journey, but not someone that goes with her or stays for a long time or comes back.
I think there's something to be had for her to be the antagonist in this, at least for an episode, like you're saying. Like they have those one-offs to where you can get 2 episodes out of them. Like first season of Mando, you had Carl Weathers in a lot. You had Cara Dune in 2. And then she came back for, see more of a prominent role before she opened her mouth in season 2. It's yet to be seen if that
Mouse doesn't like controversy.
She was going to get her own show at one point.
Yeah.
Hashtag not my ranger.
Oh my God.
It is what it is.
But
yeah,
Goofy will see you
Mary
to the
Elizabeth
door.
Winstead, I wish her the best in her career, but I would like to see her as less as possible.
now I also would love to see Tamar Morrison pop up as Rex in the Ahsoka series. I
Look at
would.
your smile.
I would love that.
He is
so
giddy
much.
for it. Yes.
He is.
But no, you could Eddie Murphy that shit. You could have the whole bitch in there and just have him as the
I'm just
bitch.
concerned that they're going to put her as one of the Rebels characters, and I don't.
That is a nice
don't want
Boda.
that.
No.
They're gonna make her. What was the Mandalorian with all the spray paint?
Oh, the cult leader there.
No, the girl that.
No,
was
no, I know who
Ezra's
you're
friend.
talking about, and absolutely not.
Ezra's friend. Yeah, that'd be horrible.
Yeah, I know exactly
That's
who
who
you're
they're
talking
gonna
about, but
make
no,
her.
please no.
No, we're not going that way.
That
I'll
would
steer
be
you into a cliff.
That
Let's
hallway
go right off the edge.
No, that
Sabine.
hallway has just
No, not
deja
Sabine.
vu. It's not there anymore. It's
Damn
a brick
it.
wall. We just stumbled into the Matrix for a second.
Sabine. Yes, that's it.
No. There's the other act.
no, not Sabine.
No, the other.
I don't remember her
actress.
name.
No, the other actress is Sabine. They already cast her, and that was actually really good casting. We talked about her. This actress
Oh,
is
did
somebody different.
Like, I don't want her to be Hera. I don't want her to
I'm
be
really
Sabine.
just,
I
I'm just
don't.
trying to horrify you.
Honestly, with that face, right
Hera?
there, I don't mind Hera. You add some.
I
fucking-
don't know.
Add some
Hera
fucking
is too
prosthetics to
important.
that.
Absolutely not.
Why not?
She's
a
Hera is
boss
too
ass
important a
bitch.
character. Hera is too important a character. Absolutely not.
Scroll up a bit so I'm not cutting off her chin.
Um,
There we go.
I know.
Just
I
saying.
loved Hera. I
I'm just
loved.
saying,
I would
you could totally
make
make
her
her
the
Hera.
make her the seventh sister. Make her one of those.
All right.
Yeah, there you go.
I would totally accept
Win-win
that.
for everyone.
Yes.
This has been Pajanger Casting.
Yes, it has.
Email us here, over here.
But
Over here.
there's also been another bit of casting in this next story because the mother of dragons herself, Amelia Clark, is revealed, giggity, in a new set photo. If you scroll down.
A nude set photo?
No, a new set photo. It might have to load up because it's
Steven?
the direct.
What?
But with the original source of material, the actual I haven't actually watched this, but it has all the shit. But this is where we're seeing her, being a massive crossover event starring the Avengers, X-Men, and more.
What a
It remains to be
exclusive.
seen how unclear how the MCU will adapt the Skrull invasion storyline with its
What the
similar
back of her head
casting
looks like.
and scale. So she's in Secret Invasion, and as of now, Secret Invasion has yet to announce a premiere date, but recent evidence suggests that it may begin in 2023 as it connects with the events of the Marvels. Filming is currently underway in the UK, and new set photos have offered us a look into one of the mysterious new characters. There are actual still photos if you go above, I believe. Here we go. And then another one there.
Let's
So
look at this fascinating video.
they all have that
Really?
horrible wind hollow sound in the beginning.
They
of
all
these.
have that stalker vibe about these videos.
I'm watching her
This
walking
guy
into the
has
wind.
also spent a lot
Very
of time
Joe.
in the bushes.
Look, she's
looking
walking into the
creepy.
building.
Yeah, look, there she went.
This is only the
This is going to be used in someone's. This is going to be used in
On
court
today's
at
new
some
rendition
point.
of Unsolved Mysteries.
This photo was recovered.
She was
from
last seen outside this store. If you've seen her,
This man was seen recording her from the bushes. So, but we get a bunch of.
I'm John Walsh, and this is America's
it's
Most
not
Wanted.
reality. It's
Oh my
Twitter.
gosh.
These newly released set of photos from Marvel Studios' Secret Invasion, originally shared by Leeds Live, offered the first look at Emilia Clarke's mysterious character in the Disney Plus series. The images
their
come
stories
from...
usually end with Chris Hansen on Dateline.
Yeah.
Funny story with that. I had a buddy whose name was Chris Hansen 008, and every time we played Call of Duty, because it was right around when Call of Duty Modern Warfare
That's
came out.
weird that
And you'd be like, his name's Chris Hansen, and then all you would see is the person drop from the room.
Well, that's weird that they would name him Chris Hansen.
They be telling on themselves, huh?
That's a weird last name. Hansen 008 probably has a very specific family origin to that last name.
Probably.
But I think it's interesting that they needed 2 zeros. That tells you how many other people.
Oh yeah, there was
went with that name.
Hansen 8.
Your
Hansen
number,
1.
no, you're now number 008. We needed to add a couple.
Well, maybe they were a
spaces.
James Bond film fan, you know, and they were like, no, Hansen 008. Dun, 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 dun.
And Emilia Clarke
Yes,
still looks like she's 12 years old.
she does. Oh my God,
She looks like such a baby.
That's what you get from drinking dragon blood.
Yeah.
I probably have that wrong. The images come from the ongoing film taking place in the city center of Leeds in the UK town. A video shared on Twitter by Not Gonna Try That. Sure, why not? Shivro Dyke showed the Game of Thrones star walking through a doorway into an unknown building.
What does it mean?
She wanted to go.
Fans are really
inside.
speculating.
So I read
as to
that
who she is.
the most popular speculation is that she's Abigail Brands, who's the commanding officer for Sword.
Sword.
And the way that she looks in this video and in these pictures, she looks like somebody very young, like off the street that's stumbling into something. And I don't see that as someone running Sword.
Origin.
Origin.
She doesn't have the green hair.
Yeah, but
yet.
her origin. How did
Well,
she
she-
command
she
the whole
was a-
thing if she's like
She was
a little
alien
timid?
spy, but
Everyone's got to start somewhere.
maybe this is
I would
like
almost
the
believe
end.
more that she is going to be the introduction of mutants.
What mutant do you see her as? I could obviously my first one, Kitty Pryde.
I would, yeah, I could see that.
I could totally
I could
see
for
her
sure see
rocking
that.
that. She could be Kitty Pryde easily. She's
Now, I'm
a-
not saying that this is an X-Men introduction, but it makes more sense to me of her being somebody that looks very scared, very timid, like she's gotten these powers and she doesn't know what to do with it,
Well, we
than
know
her
they're
being
coming.
the commanding officer for all of Sword.
We know they're coming, and we know they're getting a movie called The Mutants. So, is it that unrealistic that by like
That's my
2023,
leap right now.
when this movie's coming
the
out and we
commander
have the
had to enlist at
Marvels,
some point.
is it that
Yeah.
unrealistic that we won't see mutants at this point when this comes out? Because Marvel's always planning in the future, and the stuff that's filming now is not necessarily going to be released in the beginning of next year or at the end of this year. So
And this doesn't have a date attached to it yet. So I'm not sure who
They
she
pushed
is.
it off of
I
the
know
2022
she maybe she is Abigail. I don't know. We'll all find out later on. But I feel like just from what we've seen, the way she's dressed, the way that she's carrying herself is not someone that is in charge of an
seems
entire.
secondary. Like secondary character.
Yeah.
Like supporting cast like Kat Dennings in WandaVision.
Well, you know how like they like to have a
Important,
baby
but
in every show, like the one that needs to be protected or what have you, or mentored, and she kind of has that look about it to me.
now I definitely
Could
see
be a flashback.
I could see her as some kind of
That's
power.
true. It could be a flashback for sure.
If you're gonna do a flashback, start in the beginning.
Yeah, it could be
This
flashback.
is what happened in the
Yeah.
past. Now we got it. Let's move on.
Big brother with the logic, man. Beating you with the logic
Very
stick.
true.
If we're gonna put
Very
the
true.
makeup on, let's do it once.
Yeah.
Know what I'm saying?
Make her look real dollish, which does not
Make
take
her sit
much.
there all day once. Get it the hell out of the way.
Yeah. Because what was it? There was a bunch of people who've been in that chair all day for like makeup that have been like, nope.
She probably didn't take all day. Probably didn't take.
You want me
all.
in another movie? Better up them figures, bud, because that shit sucked. You know what I mean? There's been that. Now we have CGI. But if you really want that true feel to it, you have to be like Amelia Pond, and you have to have that blue paint applied to your face to become Nebula.
Yeah.
And sit through that. But she's a fucking trooper, and we love her.
I
for
actually
it.
really like Steven's thought process on this. That could very well be a flashback to her, however she got to where she's going to be the one running sword.
I just don't see
But
it
just
as
the look of her.
She becomes different people really well.
Yeah. Yeah, she does.
Does she?
Yeah. Because
She
you saw
looks
her in-
way different in
Look at
this
who she
photo
was.
behind him than she does as the Khaleesi.
Well, yeah, the Khaleesi, and then you look at her in Rogue One.
Because the Khaleesi
Solo.
often
Solo,
didn't
yeah.
feel like wearing any clothing at all, and that's what we all loved about the series, isn't it?
Oh my lord.
I mean, if we're gonna be honest, we might as well.
Steven, go in the horny corner.
That's actually where the producer's desk is. But it's the main thing of this is that, to his point, she could literally be playing anything. She has that dramatic. She has that range. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would like to see her as a mutant for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I definitely would like to see her as a mutant,
And
but
if she was Kitty Pryde, she'd have a dragon.
that's true. Lockheed. Lockheed or Lockhorn?
It's actually Ilya's dragon,
Talk
but
about
still they share it.
typecasting.
But I definitely see this as a win, a big bucket of win for Emilia Clarke getting into the MCU, because we also have the one dude from Peacemaker is in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. He has way too difficult of a name for me to remember or even try to pronounce.
Okay, it's that one dude. We all know who you're talking about.
He's the dude from the last episode at the last minute who did the food thing.
The dude from the dude who was being the...
the dude.
I don't want to...
The dude with the food thing.
I don't want to spoil it, but he did the thing with the food thing and last episode at the very end, and he's been a dick the whole season. So
Okay, that's
that
very
guy,
clear.
you know who you are.
Well, okay, yeah.
A lot like this next story. We know who this guy is.
It's a bit of a bumpy transition.
It's a bit of a bumpy segue indeed.
Yeah, hilarious.
But something that isn't hilarious is the James Bond producer says that Idris Elba, I have no
Is
idea.
the shark going to be in this
Why?
one, too?
Idris Elba.
Idris Elba. But
Does he come with the shark?
look at what the autocorrect put Idris Elba's name as. Idris Weba.
Oh my gosh.
Google.
So
You know,
even
you could
your
just-
own
you
technology
don't have to
is
let it do
misspelling shit.
I copied and pasted, and it auto-corrected it to Idris Weba.
No, I don't let it autocorrect. Don't
do
Don't
that.
you tell me
So-
what to do.
Hit Idris Elba. Look,
Even your own computer has proper pronunciation.
if the author of this article is allowed to fucking misspell something, so am I. All right, Google? I'm allowed to do it too.
Yes.
But, thank you. Idris Elba is he's part of the conversations of being the next 007 James Bond.
But does a shark get to come?
No. King Shark
That
is
would
not
be so
involved
cool.
in James Bond.
No, that'd be awesome, though.
So James Bond producer.
So, James, who's the guy behind you?
So I'm going to call her Barbara Broccoli, but her name is Barbara Broccoli. Has talked about the search for the
Broccoli?
next 007. And
It's
if
French.
thank you. Broccoli. Oh, thank you. I would love some. Discussions have taken place with Idris Elba. Hey, it didn't autocorrect that one.
Yeah,
about the
broccoli.
role.
That's Tuesdays at the Harry Donut.
Dave.
God damn it.
They got a special. Oh.
Let's try to rewind this back. All right, here we go.
Oh, we are adults. Oh, we are adults. All right.
There are no adults. Look around, they're all gone.
I don't know. They just started looking at me one day.
I don't know who you people are looking at.
Daniel Craig, remember him?
No.
He gave up the license to kill last year in No Time to Die. Obviously, that's very fitting because he didn't have time for it. Who has time to kill people when you have other money to be made, like in Knives Out, where he kills other people? This time without a license to kill, which makes sense. He gave up the license to kill. Makes that first movie makes so much sense. He went into investigating instead of killing people. Knives Out. Watch it.
Okay.
For years, speculation has been rife about who could take over when Craig left the role, with names like Henry Cavill, Tom Hardy, and Elba frequently tossed around into the ring. She continued, I think we have decided that Until No Time to Die has had its run, and Daniel Craig has been able to, well, we've all been able to savor, reap the benefits of Daniel's wonderful tenure. We're not going to think about or talk about anybody else, actors to play the role, or storylines, or anything really. We just want to live in the moment present.
Here, I'll summarize. No comment.
Essentially.
No
but
comment.
They're thinking about him. So out of the names mentioned here, Cavill,
That's nice.
Hardy, or Idris Elba, which one would you rather be the next James Bond?
I think it's time for Idris.
Yeah?
I
like
would
King
have loved
Shark.
Idris 10 years ago. He's 49 now. He's going to be 50 this year.
I vote for the shark.
And they usually try to make at least 3 or 4 James Bond films
So you're going for Stallone?
with each of James Bond. I think he's too old.
Brosnan was doing
King
Bond
Shark,
until 60, so.
obviously.
Yeah, but Bronson also was too old. He should have gotten it back in Remington Steele. Was it
Look,
Remington Steele?
Just because they hired
Remington Steele, yeah.
Just because
Yeah.
they
Back
hired
when-
somebody else that wasn't qualified for it doesn't make that a benchmark.
Bronson Pinchot? Saying it wrong. What am I even saying? Anyway,
I'm not
Pierce
the one
Brosnan.
to judge you on saying
Pierce Brosnan,
saying something wrong.
Bronson
Balky
Pinchot,
from
you
Perfect
went from
Strangers. Where did I
007 to
go?
Perfect Strangers. Hey, Balky, are you going to use that knife to kill somebody?
Cousin
can you
Larry.
imagine? That would be amazing. That'd be like what is it? They call it like drunken.
Cousin Laddie, here I come.
Oh my God.
Anyway,
On a side note, I would love to see a horror version of Perfect Strangers to where Balky is just constantly
The
trying
original
to
is the horror
murder
version,
Cousin
isn't it?
Larry. Like Larry just wakes up one day and Balky's like hanging a noose around his neck,
If
like,
you
oh, hello,
misplace-
cousin.
you guys got me so
Only
twisted up.
one more
Pierce
time.
Brosnan should have been James Bond a decade before he actually was. By the time he came in,
Oh, yeah. That
they
was
had
like,
to kind of rework it, and those movies were not as successful as they should have been.
well, when you look
and
at
then
like,
that also meant that we got Timothy Dalton, which wasn't great Bonds either, and I don't blame Timothy Dalton for that. But
that was
Idris
just like a
Elba,
low period in writing, yeah.
I mean,
he
Roger
is
Moore, Sean
a brilliant
Connery,
actor.
probably
I
the
love
best.
him in everything that he's in, but James Bond needs to be somebody in their 30s so that they can carry the franchise forward for the next decade. And
Pierce Brosnan.
although
had
I
that,
have nothing against any of these 3 men, they're all talented and amazing actors in their
Yeah.
own right
Give
and
him
would
another
all
number.
be phenomenal as James Bond. I do think that they're tilting a little bit too old. It should be somebody in their early to mid 30s.
I mean, Pierce Brosnan.
And none of these men fall into that.
Pierce Brosnan had that kind of creepy uncle vibe to James Bond. You know, a little
Well,
bit
that's
too
why
old.
like Roger Moore stopped being Bond
Yeah.
because he was like, I'm getting to this certain age and they keep on casting these women between 19 and 25 to play my romantic interest. He's like, it felt creepy to him.
Yeah.
And I respected him for that because other men don't
yeah.
seem to have a problem with that.
I mean, look, man, when it gets to a certain point, the old man
What the heck was even that?
he starts getting really like AM morning DJ radio with his button use. So you just have to excuse him. But
I think that there is a rich cornucopia of actors under the age of 40 that could fit that role.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be any of these three very well established,
You know who I was
making good money actors.
After seeing what we've seen of Batman, right? I actually thought Robert Pattinson wouldn't be a bad James Bond. Or from Kingsman. Like, why not, throw it up there?
And if they want to make it a person of color, which I'm totally down for.
Damon Wayans.
There are.
Yeah. There you go.
Well, they have.
I'm going to get you, sucker.
Keenan.
I'm trying to be serious here, guys.
Could you imagine Damon Wayans and he comes across Homie the Clown?
Katarina's just trying to keep that wheel straight, and all of a sudden
I'm trying. There's Jordan Bolger, who is in Peaky Blinders, brilliant actor. He would make a fantastic James Bond.
Yes,
he would.
Absolutely.
So I don't have, like I said, and then you have Kingsley Ben-Adir, who was Malcolm X. He would make a fantastic James Bond as well. So if they want to bring in someone of color to do it, you have so many talented people out there under the age of 40. Why these three men who already make an astoundingly good living on established, well-liked franchise characters?
We got a contract to fill out.
Bring some new blood in.
We got movies to
I love Tom Hardy. He's in everything already.
And
give somebody else a chance.
They like him because he's already established. He's got draw. He's already put butts in seats.
That's the thing.
And he's a sure thing.
Especially right now.
Go with him.
You got to go for the sure thing in this COVID time. I mean,
but aren't they all actors? Shouldn't they just be able to act?
Well, there's that political aspect.
Find someone who looks right
couldn't
and get them
couldn't they semi-reset the series and just go with a limited action series of a young origin story?
But look,
I know they were trying to do that with Tom Holland.
If they're trying to stick with the source material, which are the books, it is a very physical character. James Bond is a very much brute force type of character. So if they want to go to this suave, debonair spy that they did more along with Roger Moore and Timothy Dalton, because these actors were people that didn't do that much action and were a little bit older.
Get me back to the gadgets.
Then that's fine. But if they want to go back to the source material, then what we got with Sean Connery and Daniel Craig is much closer to the books than the other iterations of James Bond. So if they want to stick with that, which I personally really enjoy Daniel Craig's James Bond, they need to get somebody younger.
I just say get me back to the gadgets.
50. I don't care how great of shape he's in.
Get me back to the gadgets.
We need him for the next 10 years.
But also,
you got to start younger.
With the whole James Bond, it wasn't just the gadgets. It was the espionage. And like what you were saying with Sean Connery, there was, I forget which Bond film it was, but he was trying to see if anybody was getting into his hotel room when he wasn't there.
Oh, when he put the hair.
And he put the hair there. And I remember first time seeing that,
I think that's Dr. No.
Yes. That is fucking genius. And I was just like, holy crap. That kind of spy, Jason Bourne really kind of evolved that series with the action, but it still had that, I'm a spy. I know how to do these little things and tricks and tips that help me know where I'm at and where I, almost like a spider's awareness, And that's what I really appreciated about that. Connery was my favorite Bond, honestly, because he just had that. He had that.
Well, that was the closest to the source material at the time. So yeah, I get a man of action, a man of power, a little bit rapey, which I'm not fond of that part, but he was a very physical James Bond. And that's what James Bond, he was the one that went in to do the wet work, the dirty work, not Mr. I don't know how to say it, Mr. Debonair, Mr. Smooth Operator. That wasn't him.
You think Richard Madden would be a good James Bond?
Boom!
Youngish.
Oh, different Madden.
Acting to acting.
It's probably a different Madden.
Star Q.
Next time I see you, you're going to be in black.
35. That's fine. 35 is good. You can get 15 years out of that guy.
No, I'm down. I'm down for Richard Madden or Kit Harington.
Either one. But they're busy, aren't they? Well, maybe not Richard Madden anymore. Chris was a little too emo. I would have no problem with Richard Madden. I just, like I said, I think it needs to be somebody in their mid-30s. Not somebody pushing 50.
Yeah, you could just already hear him saying, "The name is Bond, James Bond." I could see Richard.
What about Tom Hiddleston?
Nah, because I want him to do Loki at the drop of a hat. I want his schedule to be free for Disney.
I'm gonna say what I say all the time. Give it to somebody that doesn't have such a full workload already.
Like Tom Arnold.
So Dwayne
Tom Arnold
is out of the mix.
No Dwayne The Rock Johnson. It's Tom Hiddleston is very much still entrenched in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He does not need another franchise. The man is set for life already. He can just do passion projects for the rest of his life and be A-okay. Give it to somebody who needs.
He could pick a job.
Who needs them?
I would peg Hiddleston as like M or the new M, like the
yeah, he would make a great M.
Yes,
I think he would make a great M.
He would
even
really
make a great Q.
Yeah,
he would.
Yeah, either one. I mean, but he could pick a job like a bowel movie.
He'd make a great money penny for a female M or male M, non-binary. I don't care.
He could be as our M.
Can you imagine Tom Hiddleston as Moneypenny? That would be amazing.
It would be awesome.
That'd be
freaking amazing.
Even for just like a Funny or Die video, that would be completely worth it. But another thing that may be worth it is our next story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man, because A Christmas Story is getting a sequel.
Really?
Yeah. Remember that story? Remember that movie that they play like 24 hours a day for 2 months straight? Guess what?
TNT. Yeah.
I said that today.
No, I live in the modern world.
Off topic, but on topic. We were talking about how my parents or how people tend to hold on to things. And I said that my parents have a Citizen of the Year award that I got in 1987 when I was in 5th grade. And I was like, why do you have that for? And that's exactly what I said. I'm like, it's a major award.
I want it.
So
although anytime I see any kind of packaging, I see fragile.
Anyone
I can't help but say it.
Has never read the word fragile again. It is always fragile. And then you always follow up with must be Italian.
Oddly enough, I follow up with what a lamp. So
anyways, please continue.
Is it anything that distract liquid sex from the window?
I don't like that phrasing at all.
No, phrasing.
That was the line from the movie.
It made it sound even dirtier when a dirty old man said it.
Yeah, you're welcome for that.
But phrasing aside, one of the greatest American holiday films of all time is Bob Clark's A Christmas Story. Although a box office disappointment upon initial release, endless hentai viewings of The Old Man and endless showings on television made it a holiday staple. Right up there with It's a Wonderful Life, which is true. They play both of them incessantly, nonstop during the holiday season.
I've never seen It's a Wonderful Life. I've always avoided it.
Yeah.
The colorized version is actually on Amazon.
That's all right.
But Clarence,
I'm good.
Catchphrases like, "You'll shoot your eye out, kid," and gags like the infamous leg lamp have become iconic. Cable channels run it 24/7 marathons of the film on Christmas Day. And now, as the movie approaches its 40th anniversary, it's getting a sequel at long last. Announced via The Hollywood Reporter, Warner Brothers and Legendary Pictures are teaming up for this continuation. And it stars the original Ralphie himself, Peter Billingsley.
Really?
Billingsley?
There you go.
Billingsley.
Hey.
Titled A Christmas Story. Cletus the Christmas Chronicles will be at the helm. The script comes from...
What story are you reading?
Nick Shinko. Nick Shinnick?
My God.
I'm just making up names as I go along. So you have the Christmas Chronicles and people from the Gran Turismo involved in this. The story will take place in the 1970s, featuring an adult Ralphie returning to his house on Cleveland Street to deliver his kids a magical Christmas, just like the ones he had growing up.
Although the neighborhood's not the same, and they're infested with heroin addicts now.
Oh, no.
It's going to be a vicious shootout.
No, 70s, you're at crack. I think you're coming into the crack epidemic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's going to be the crack game. He's going to be a crack dealer.
Ralphie,
no, he's going to put that BB shooting to experience.
Ralphie's brother's freebasing in the corner.
I'll shoot your eye out, asshole.
We're really going to make a social statement about
Told you to give me $20, man. You're like, all right, man, calm down. Here, you'll shoot your eye out.
Well, you know, you bring light to the painkiller epidemic in any way you can.
You know? I think we made a completely...
Sponsored by the NRA.
I pulled that one around.
We really made a completely different Christmas story. I will say that. Oh, that's like a Kensington Christmas
more like
story.
An after-school special.
What do you want, Dad? An AR-15.
A Christmas story.
So the goal...
In the next 48 hours.
This next sentence isn't making it any better. The goal is to recreate the same real-life tone of the first movie based on the autobiographical stories
they want everyone to ignore it.
humorous Gene Shepherd. So...
That's what happened the first time.
History? What's that?
I'm crying. My God.
Oh, boy.
We won't blame you because
I don't think you want that.
I don't think you realize how hard it is for me to try to
man.
listen while also not hearing what you're saying at the same time. Like, I'm trying to stay invested, but also shield my mind from the words that are coming out of your mouth.
That's my normal day-to-day life.
I've done my job.
So we'll see Ralphie reconnect with childhood friends as well as deal with the passing of his old man. However, Melinda, give me a minute.
Dude, just on to the next story.
Please.
I want to know how Ralphie's dad dies. I think that's going to be pertinent.
He dies of crack. Turns out Ralphie's old man turned into
Probably
a
liver poisoning, if I had to guess.
Oh yeah. He was an old soul.
No, he smoke inhalation from the furnace.
Died of the shit.
That's actually plausible.
I will tell you what, he had
Fire caused by a shorting of the leg lamp.
he definitely had an A+ death. But if
and you'd want A+ catering for that
for that weight.
Ask him for a leg lamp.
If you want a leg up on your next funeral or wake, God, I know what advertise. So
I just want to point out at this time that all four of us are not 100%. We're either getting over being sick or currently sick, and I think that has affected this podcast.
It became contagious.
None of us are in our right minds right now.
Oh, but if I was in my right mind, I would tell you to hop on over here to facebook.com/
You could just edit that part out. We could do a real commercial.
I'm legitimately turning red right now.
So you can go over here to facebook.com/ APLUS Tri-State to find A+ catering, and you can book them for your next wake or maybe even conference for your business. It doesn't have to be a morbid event. because it's going to be joyous. As to your delicatessen, maybe switch over to a different picture, maybe one with food. I can't be talking about delicatessens with the picture without food in it. There we go. A delicious delicatessens for you to try out during your next event or catering need. Do you want to be just a selfish fat ass? Maybe you could just hire them to just sit and, bring a whole bunch of food to your house for you and your family. It's your money. Use it when you need it. But you can always hop over here to get all the best in deliciousness for whatever you want to have thrown. Hop on over there.
Okay. Suddenly we were J.G. Wentworth head.
Yes. It's your food.
I wasn't going to go there.
Use it when you need it.
Anyway.
So, the clunkier segues have happened, but Shenmue, the animation, drops a violent new trailer to reveal a February debut date. Adult Swim announced in 2020 that Shenmue, the game about making friends and getting a job, and avenging the death of your father at the hands of your mysterious kung fu master, is being made into an anime. I mean, that does just kind of sound...
Tale as old as time.
Yeah, try refreshing it. I thought there was a fucking trailer here. It's being made into an anime, and now we've got an official debut date. The 13-episode anime will premiere on February 5th. We've also got a new trailer, and this one is more to the point than the first one we got to look at in October. Ryu wins the tournament, skips the celebration, and arrives at his father's dojo just in time to see the old man get absolutely rocked by Lan Di. Rio lips off and gets fed a triple-decker knuckle sandwich for his trouble. He got it half off. At the point, the trailer moves to the quest for the sweet revenge to learn why his father was killed, get some righteous payback. With the first trailer, this one does not waste time on everyday life side of Shenmue, to where that was a huge thing of Shenmue, driving a forklift, collecting capsule toys, and this one instead focuses on the good stuff, which is to say, beating the shit out of each other.
That first game was that just pulled you in. It was like one of the
I feel a little cheated that I'm not going to see Shenmue driving a forklift.
Okay.
Yeah, well, you're not missing much.
This is just a forklift.
Backing up.
Sounds like the rest of my life. But I never got a chance to play Shenmue. What was pretty much that was just the story, just finding revenge for your father and driving forklifts. That was pretty much the game.
That was pretty much it.
Just to get better for forklifts,
get better techniques, and try to kill the villain. That's it.
With forklifts.
So fighting
with forklifts,
open world with forklifts,
impaling here.
Okay. So that just seems kind of a simplistic description of it, considering so many fans wasted so much time getting another game made. But other disappointments are on the horizon for our future, which are Electronic Arts and Lucasfilm Games announce new Star Wars titles in development from Respawn Entertainment.
Well, that's cool.
Excited about these.
Oh, yeah, man, because Electronic Arts and Lucas Games announced today that they will be joining forces once again for 3 new Star Wars titles. The next title in the Star Wars Jedi franchise, which is said to be the successor to Star Wars Jedi The Fallen Order. And on top of that, we're also getting a strategy game and a first-person shooter, all currently developed from Respawn Entertainment.
They're famous for telling
us about it?
Telling us about games and just never, like that one. There's two or three I remember.
Star Wars 1313 is the infamous one that pops off in my head. There was also originally another Respawn game, which was supposed to be
I remember
released, but then they stopped it, and then I think they turned it into something else.
Like a drop ship or something.
Yeah, I think that was 1313.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Could still be bitter about.
It was either 1313 or is that one Respawn one that they dropped when they were starting to just move everything over to Lucasfilm Games.
It could be that one.
I think it was that one because that one looked cool. Because no, the dropship was 1313, but there was also that other one because they had a little bit of a trailer and then like concept art that they released, and it looked really promising. Yeah. But now we're getting. The strategy game is being developed by XCOM game developer. So that just makes sense because what was that one Star Wars strategy game? The Empire something?
Galactic Empire.
Galactic Empire. That one ran forever. And fans really love that one.
It's still alive and well today.
On the PC Master Race. So you have that. Strategy seems good. First person shooter. Battlefront. Now, hopping in, you'll enjoy Battlefront 2. But both games had a very rocky launch.
They did.
They were shit.
But it is in a very solid state right now.
Now, for the Fallen Order sequel, I think all of us can get into this conversation as to what we want to see next. Because with the Fallen Order, we see Order 66 and the ramifications of that. Fans are saying for this next series of Star Wars Jedi games, they want to see the Purge of Mandalore. Where would you want to see, logically, coming off of Order 66, what Jedi tale would you want to see with either Cal or another Jedi who made it out of the Purge?
Oh,
we
need another one.
Would you want to see Cal or would you want to see another one? And where would you want to see it? Do you want to see it continuing right off of the first one? Or do you want to see it as
a linear? I want a linear story, so then 3 would be the team up.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because then you can add it then technology will have progressed to the point where you can have that mechanic of, either 2-player co-op or like the partner system with Guardians, like Guardians of the Galaxy, or you could do it solo.
Now, Kat, Old Man has asked you in the past to do a game watch of The Last of Us. The one that I ask you to do is a game watch of The Fallen Order, because I know you're a Star Wars fan, and doing a watch of the story of that game, I think you will just soak in so much of the lore and everything that they put into that game, to where when I'm not going on the Old Republic right now, I'm hopping over to that game, and because I haven't beat it, and I want to see that whole story unfold for me, and I'm excited for this next Jedi franchise, especially if they keep it in that Dark Souls light, because you can do just the story mode or easy and really have a fun time and not be really too bogged down with the grindiness, because that's my main problem with the Old Republic MMO, is that it's very, very grindy, and that takes away from the amazing story, which is what Star Wars is all about. And I don't want that to necessarily affect any of these games in their telling of the game. I want them to have, just like Star Wars, a solid story behind each one of these games. Because if you're having a first-person shooter, obviously, first thing you have to go to is give me a Call of Duty of either Imperial, Republic soldier, First Order, a Imperial soldier after the fall, after Palpatine was killed, in the forming of the First Order. Give me that as a game. Give me something that's really rich in the mythos, to where you wouldn't expect a first-person shooter to be this good, Call of Duty-wise, like Modern Warfare.
The story for Battlefront 2 actually, exposed a little bit of that.
Well, yeah, but give me that soldier story, to where you have Hollywood pictures telling soldier stories and they get fucking awards. Give me that award-winning soldier story in that first-person shooter. Because we've gotten that kind of caliber quality out of first-person shooter games that have focused on story before.
The story was good. I finished it. Iden Versa was a.
Oh no, that one was really
fighter.
great for Battlefront 2. The story was excellent. Yes. The story in the first one was shit, but they did correct it for 2, and they did overall correct things for 2. Do you just want to see Battlefront 3 out of this first-person shooter that they're making, and then giving this control over to Respawn for that, as opposed to? No, that was still EA.
Still EA,
but it wasn't Respawn EA. Respawn EA has the Star Wars credit right now.
And they've done Fallen Order, but they also have done Titanfall, which is still an amazing game.
Do you think BioWare still has Star Wars credit because of what they still do with the Old Republic? Is there any Star Wars credit there with their game?
I think they have, like, from a narrative perspective, they know how to craft a story. So I think it's a combination of the two. You might have people, because they're under the EA umbrella, you might have people like helping out the narrative direction. But they're not going to get rid of that cash cow. So they're going to keep that. Yeah. Beneficial for both BioWare and EA.
I mean, there's a lot of really talented people in all of these games, but Respawn, I honestly have a high expectation from them, but that's only because they have delivered on it. You know, it's like Insomniac. They have a certain reputation to where if they are accepting a franchise property like Star Wars, Marvel, anything like that, they are going to come with a certain kind of quality. And we see that with Insomniac with the Wolverine trailer. It was him sitting at a bar, and it was the most interesting 2-minute trailer you would have seen ever. Because you saw claws and dead people. Like this next story. Well, I mean, there's probably some dead people in this next story. We're just going to kind of peruse this. I thought it would be, I thought this mainly when I didn't know there was so much news here. 2022 game release schedule. Pokemon Atris, that's coming out in January. Also, God of War just hit PC. Shadow Man Remastered. There's a bunch of them in here. We'll just kind of peruse down, list anything that jumps out at you there.
Baby store.
The mods for the God of War for PC are already in full effect. They already got like a CJ mod from San Andreas. They got a SpongeBob mod.
I saw the CJ one.
They got a
Horizon.
beardless Kratos.
Horizon Forbidden West coming out. Yeah. Dying Light 2 staying human. There's a lot of really impressive graphics trailers for that one. Lost Ark is looking good. They're still putting out content for Destiny 2. Elden Ring. Let's focus on this one a bit because Elden Ring, one, they're saying 30-hour playtime, as well as you cannot 100% that the first time through.
Okay, that's nice.
They are given. That's nice for replayability of a game.
Yes, Big Brother's not going to care.
Oh, he's going to play it multiple times anyway. It doesn't matter. Scrolling through here, Tiny Tina. We're going to get that this year. Elix 2. Didn't play the first one. Gran Turismo. If you're into this, the racing games.
If you like BDSM and racing.
Just like Batman, you will love Gran Turismo 7.
Justice.
Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Next one out of the Borderlands saga. Weird West. Lego Star Wars. The Skywars saga. They did this already, right? Or they just released them individually, and now they're going to bundle it together?
No, it's a completely new iteration. It's just like now they're adding the voice acting because in the previous ones they didn't have the voice acting. So
I feel
they're adding everything.
This is just Link going from one side of me to the other saying, no, I'm a completely new dog, man. I didn't get a treat yet.
Treats too.
Nope, I didn't get a treat yet.
I don't know about that other guy.
Like that Bugs Bunny bit. You know, he just keeps going to either side of me with a different disguise. Although the mustache is the cutest one. We have Forspoken and Vampire Masquerade. The sequel to that one's coming out in May. That one's been pushed back a couple times.
That was an interesting game.
Saints Row. Oh my God, the new one from that August 23rd coming out on all major platforms. God,
rebooting it.
Damn, yeah. That is the reboot.
Yeah, it could be good.
So you get another racing game test drive on Unlimited Solar Crown. I don't know. Starfield in November. BioWare's next big franchise that they're starting is Starfield. And I kind of feel like if they're doing like Fallout or Elder Scrolls in space.
Is BioWare or Bethesda?
I'm sorry, Bethesda. But yeah, no, Bethesda with Starfield.
You forgot the end.
It's
a silent end. You don't see
We don't know if they're going to fuck it up yet. So I'll give them credit. I'll call them Bethesda. But Stalker 2, that's coming out as well. A bunch of stuff. Some stuff to be announced. Avatar, that game coming out. We saw only literally a screenshot of that. So more stuff. Bright Memory Infinite. Man, I can't wait for that to come out because that was the one guy who made this amazingly beautiful shooter game. Fantastic.
Oh, right,
I can't wait for that one to come out. I did a map plays on it. It was so good. You'll find that on our YouTube. Dune, Earthlock 2, Earth Defense Force 6. My God, they make a lot of those games. There's a lot of great shit. Ghostwire Tokyo, that's coming out this year. Homeworld
Hogwarts
3.
Legacy.
Yeah. The Harry Potter game, they're saying we're going to be getting a trailer for that soon to where I'm not going to lie, man. You give me an action adventure or RPG or like an open world Harry Potter game, I would definitely play that shit. I mean, who wouldn't want to hop in that world, be a wizard? I mean, I know how you feel, Kat. I'm just saying,
Pac-Man
as a premise,
Museum?
it's an enticing thing. It just sucks. There's that kind of hazy, luminous,
game.
monsoon cloud around it. But River City Girls 2 is also going to be coming out. We don't know when, though. I was a big fan of River City Girls 1, apparently.
Okay.
So we can go on to the next
Skull
story.
and Bones.
Because this is a lead-in to our end segment, which Elon Musk, brilliant man he is, his little brain chips called Neuralink, they are heading for human trials.
Mm-hmm.
Clinical trials are being prepared to insert chips into people's brains that may give back movement to people with spinal cord injuries.
Did you pick this because of the photo?
Yeah, I did. According to The Guardian. What? There's a little brain there you can see. See? It's right there. It's very interesting. According to The Guardian, Elon Musk co-founded Neuralink company. Neuralink is working towards some very cool sounding tech to help humanity and totally not conquer us all. Musk claims, I love how they put that there. He claims that the company's chips, which are about to start human testing, will enable someone with paralysis to use a smartphone with their mind faster than someone with their thumbs, which is incredibly terrifying.
No, it'll be fine. Look at Twitter. It's going so well.
Has it?
I don't use it, so I'm just guessing.
Look, in the dumpster fire that is humanity, you can call Twitter a success, but that's only if you're judging it versus
based on failure.
Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan and Twitter. Twitter seems very, very reasonable.
Yes, compared to Genghis Khan.
I'm just saying. I'm not wrong.
And only in comparison to Genghis Khan.
Yeah.
Coming with logic.
Yes.
But
what was the question?
The only thing Genghis Khan succeeded at was reducing the core temperature of the Earth by 2 degrees Celsius when he was done.
And raping. But Mongolia and China are
climate change.
Very populated thanks to that. But my main point to this story is the end segment I thought of is if we'll hop in the future machine here and hop like, I don't know, 30, 40 years in the future. We're all alive. And Neuralink is a very common thing. All right. What game would you love to play with Neuralink? My immediate thought is
solitaire.
Well, I mean, no, but Call of Duty, first-person shooters, to where the immediate access between your brain and the interface would be crucial. I think that would be interesting, but then I also know that I would still get mopped by fucking 12-year-olds because that's not going to help me any if they still have the same technology. So I'd probably still play the same normal games I do, but the PvE realm. But I was very interested to see what was your knee-jerk reaction to be like, you know what? That would be cool to be, to play that with my mind. Because especially if we're in our way future forward machine, you could pair that with, let's say, like the little contact lenses, right? Or augmented reality, to where you have the game in front of you and you're controlling it with your mind. Now you're in almost like a Sword Art Online phase to where you are immersed in this world. And you have all those sensations because Neuralink is adapting with your brain and doing all this stuff. I mean, being able to hop into like a Neuralink MMO of like Elder Scrolls and being able to smell the snozberries.
I don't have any sense of smell.
Yeah, but it's Neuralink. It would just...
That's all right.
You can turn it off.
I've heard a lot about smell. I don't think it's all it's cracked up to be, from what I hear. I don't hear positive reviews.
I
if
will
all
tell
the
you.
reviews I heard were for a restaurant, you'd never eat there.
I got to tell you.
I don't care what some people said. Like, the negative reviews outweigh...
Look, being able to turn it off would be nice, but it's more helpful than not.
It's not really, as I've found. I've made it fine. The first thing they ask is, how do you know there's a fire? Well, number one, there's other signs like people running, smoke, people on fire. It's easy stuff.
You know what? Greg wasn't on fire yesterday. I think there's a problem.
And generally, there's people going, do you smell that?
Report.
And which I say, no, but please describe it. It's fascinating.
So outside of your realm of smell, what's a game that you would like to hop into this AR Neuralink world that I created?
I don't know.
Because you already know mine, Fable.
Yeah.
I was Billy Badass at Fable, and I love that.
So the Neuralink is essentially Horizon Zero Dawn. That's all it really is.
Well, yeah, but the Neuralink is more the interface, and then that graphical, because I got this from the extended TV spot from the Batman, was he had the contacts in his eyes to where in the Court of Owls comic, he used that to immediately be able to access his back computer as well as like thermal vision and other helpful things. So if you have like almost that contact interface to where it's directly into your optics and the Neuralink, that's a completely immersive experience.
So is Assassin's Creed with the Neuralink.
Exactly.
And with magic computers, because that computer gets on your eye, it's going to burn the retinas out.
Well, no, it's more just like a lens, and then that's connected to another computer, which is doing more of the work.
There's a circuit board on it. Your eyeball's going to fry.
They'll figure it out. Yeah. But the main point in this futuristic world, 30 years in the future, where they already figured that out, is that where's the game? Old man, where are you going with this?
I mean, Mass Effect would be a good game at that. Of course, Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty. I don't know. I mean, we've seen what the technology is. It's just it's just tough to kind of pin one down because I play everything. So like,
I mean, you could also put the microphone further away from you.
Sorry.
Oh my God, I can hear
Thanks
you.
for joining us. We really want to hear what you
Nice to meet you.
have to say.
Yeah,
It
you're
helps
welcome.
to have a mic.
So, Kat, I know you're not big into the game realm, but I did.
If you could transport yourself to any world,
I thought more along the lines of like fantasy or novels, any other like real fantasy novels or like real nerddoms that you would have really linked to. What would be that one that would? All right, Neuralink, I have to get it. Well, at least I can go on to this. To where if there was like a Neuralink Doctor Who world I could link into, I'd be fucking down. If I was forced by gunpoint to get it.
Put way too much thought into this on my own before this topic came up for this show. Like I've thought about like if I would be able to go into, let's say, the Harry Potter world or the Tolkien universe or the DC universe, and it always comes out to the same thing to me, and that I would die.
No, because I completely see you as the Deanna Troy of whatever universe you go into. Like you're Guinan. You just kind of like talk to everybody. You're like, oh, hey, it's Katarina.
Like
Hey,
I
Kat.
immediately, I don't know. Like I feel like as accident prone as I am now, the only thing that saves me is that I don't live in a world like that.
Well, no, that's why I said you're Guinan. You'd be in the bar. You'd be safe.
everything always will work out because you're the player character.
Yeah. You're like
the world revolves around you.
You could just be everyone's conscience since everyone's video game.
It would be like it would be like your Gwenpool, to where you realize you're in the story and you realize I'm the main character. No, nothing's gonna happen to me. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
I feel like that would not work out for me. But I honestly would love to be in Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Her answer might change in the next couple months when we get that new Wonder Woman trailer too.
Well, no, but also next month when we get that new update for combat and the actual quality of life and graphics to Old Republic, man, they're gonna keep adding content to that, and there's already a bushel. Like right now, I'm on Tatooine. Just went to Alderaan. Nice planet. Some weird, creepy sky star stingrays that you ride. Not bad.
Yeah.
Been to all the nice planets, and I think that would be
how much I love Wonder
realm.
Woman. You know how much I would love to be like it. And it's not even like her powers. It's just the woman that she is. That is just what has always drawn me to her strength of character and her compassion and her empathy and all of that and her dignity. And but to train with a saber and be able to use the Force, and there's just something inherently cool about that.
Brawl.
That if I was going to go into a game, that's what I would want to do.
Yeah. I mean, also Wonder Woman, I kind of feel like that would be more like
we have to ask light or dark.
Well, no,
dark.
Wonder Woman would be more of like a survival.
Oh, there we go.
Great all day.
Well, Wonder Woman would be more of like it'd be more of like a survival game, because you'd just be doing a bunch of tasks in Themyscira. So I kind of feel like it would be really,
and Themyscira is a paradise.
Letdown.
So there is definitely a draw, but I almost feel like that would have been my obvious answer, and I did consider it, but then I just remembered, as a kid, did I pretend to be Wonder Woman or did I pretend to be a Jedi? I pretended to be a Jedi. So.
Look, man, I pretend to be a Jedi whenever I see a red light off in the distance. I'm using my
I am a
Force
Jedi
powers.
whenever I go into any store.
Yeah.
Automatic doors? I don't think so. That was my hand.
Red light, green light. A couple of times when it does work out, you feel like, did it happen? Did I connect to the Force? No, of course you didn't. But you feel like it, and that's
it's
the
on a
important
timer.
part.
You can time it.
Quit popping my bubble, man. But no, I completely side with that the High Republic or Old
there's
Republic
Matt
as
pulling
well.
up at the traffic light. Let's make him feel important.
Yes.
Click.
Wait, he's doing his hand motion now.
You know, we
Yeah.
all take it personally whenever that light changes in a way that we're not happy with. So there, you know.
It's the dark side of the Force.
But yes, gray all day.
Yeah.
Gray all day.
It makes the day pass by quickly. But Gray Jedi just have it easy. They don't have, fuck off. You know?
They have achieved true balance.
They're like that neighbor back in the day to where if the kid was acting up, you'd smack them a couple times and then tell their parent what they did. That's the Gray Jedi. They're just kind of keeping order in the neighborhood, just making sure nobody's too bad, too good.
They understand there is no light without dark.
But they also have a nightlight in their hallway, which equals it out.
I do have a nightlight.
So
that checks
and
out.
that's going to be the final TikTok for today.
yeah, well, but we end off this podcast the same way, and that's with the thank yous. We want to thank you to our man Luminous Tater, Conrad Dabrowski, as well as Alejandro Gomez, Matthew Kennedy, and Mark Gervais. Moiselle Robinson, thank you all for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and generally supporting the podcast. And of course, we always end off on a long drawn-out goodbye. I am your host, Matthew Bucarell, the Mat Man. In the Pajanger box, we have Katarina Thermoscara, Wonderful Woman, as well as our Christopher Bristow, the old man. Omnipotent presence that is Stephen Bucarell, Big Brother, and our mascot, Hero of Time, Link Diablo. It doesn't matter what kind of nerd you are, we gather here every week, and we thank you for joining. And until next week, we love you, we miss you, we want to see you then!